Welcome to week 6 of 5 picks in 5 minutes. I'm Tim Kalinowski, joined by Chris Raybon. Last week, I don't want to spend too much time on it. We went 2-3, so you are 10-5 on the season. I'm 5-5. All I do is just go 1-1, 1-1 over and over again. Before we get to the picks, just a reminder that you can tail all of our picks for free thanks to our sponsor, BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. They have an incredible offer for new users. Use bonus code ACTION when signing up to get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Raybon, let's get back to our winning ways. You start us off here.
All right, well, my boy Stuckey likes to call this one catching the falling knife, and that's what we're doing with the first pick because we're going with the New England Patriots +3 at the Las Vegas Raiders. Even after getting drubbed by 72-3 over the last 2 games, the Patriots still are the better team in terms of DVOA than the Raiders, and this is a classic bounce back spot. Teams off scoring 6 points or fewer in back-to-back games are 68% against the spread over the last 2 decades. When they scored 3 points or fewer in back-to-back games, hasn't happened much, just 8 times over the past 2 decades, but those teams are 7-1 against the spread, covering by nearly 6 points a game. And of course, dogs off shutout, 63% against the spread as well. New England has faced a really tough slate of defenses: Philly, the Jets, Dallas, New Orleans. So I expect them to bounce back against this Raider defense. And I think that familiarity with Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels will help Belichick scheme against that Raider offense that still hasn't scored more than 18 points, even though they faced the Broncos. So give me New England +3.
Yeah, really hard to back this Patriots team right now, but sometimes that's what it takes when we're here in week 6. I'm going to go with the Colts +4 against Jacksonville. Look, my numbers make this game about 3.5, so I'm right there with the market. But what those numbers don't take into account, what I don't think the odds makers are taking enough into account, is the fact that Jacksonville's coming back from being in London for 2 weeks. And you come all the way back here, they got the they call it, you got to do all those, you got to run all the errands when you're back at home. You got all these things you have to do. So I'm looking to back Indy here. And also, I've been saying from the jump, at this point in their careers, Gardner Minshew is an upgrade over Anthony Richardson. There's no way the Jags win this game by more than 4 points. I'm looking to fade them off of that big win against Buffalo. Give me Indy +4.
Yeah, I mean, this would break the trend. I don't think Indy has done anything in Jacksonville for over a half decade now. Like, every time they go down there, it's just a disaster. So
they have not.
See if Minshew can buck the trend here. I'll go for my next pick with the Eagles and the Jets under 41. The Jets are 23rd in pace. Philadelphia is 25th, so 2 bottom 10 teams in pace. And the Jets are 32nd in pace in neutral situations. They want to shorten the game with Zach Wilson at quarterback, but it's going to be tough to run on Philly. Number 1 in run defense are the Eagles, and the Jets just lost Elijah Vera Tucker, their top graded offensive lineman overall and in run blocking. You also could see some weather here. Interconference unders with a total below 47 tend to hit 60% since 2015, including 22 and 14, 61% when you have double-digit wind speeds, which are expected at MetLife Stadium this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I watched that Philly and Los Angeles Rams game. It felt like the Rams had like 4 possessions in the entire game. Philly just sucks the life out of everyone. So I like where your head's at there. I'm going to finish off my picks with the Ravens -4 against Tennessee in London. Look, I'll just say it. Last week I was on Pittsburgh, but the Ravens got jobbed, especially when you talk about luck rankings. Our guy Nick Giffen, he said it was the biggest luck differential of the week. So silly things happen in Pittsburgh, especially when Baltimore goes there. I think you can almost entirely throw that out. But what isn't silly and weird is when favorites go to London. Favorites win there, and favorites cover. Thank you to Evan Abrams, who told me that favorites are 30, 10-1 straight up, and 26-15 against the spread when we're playing overseas. Not to mention, my favorite part of the handicap, the Titans, they're going to London on Friday. Baltimore, they've been there since Monday. We saw what happened when the Bills left for London on Friday last week. I'm laying 4 with Baltimore.
Yeah, you have the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, because you have the London favorites, but then you have Raybon as an underdog. But I am worried about the Titans. I think that run defense took a hit. You know, Simmons and Tart are banged up. That's not good news when you're facing this Raven team, especially coming off a loss. But I'll close it up by going with a classic buy low, sell high spot. Minnesota, 2.5-point favorites. I'm taking them on the road against the Bears. The market's never going to be higher on the Bears. Justin Fields has 8 touchdowns and over 600 yards in his last 2 games. Meanwhile, the Vikings just lost Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in football. But if there's ever a time to lose Justin Jefferson, it's against the Chicago defense that is second to last in pass DVOA, pass EPA. And Minnesota can also go more run heavy here. They have the best PFF run blocking grade, and Cam Akers has been a lot better than Madison, so I expect his snaps to continue to increase. But this is really a fate of the Bears that just won for the first time in a year. I don't know how necessarily they're going to react to that. Most teams you expect to have a letdown anyway when they win big. Teams coming off a win by 20 or more points at home are just 21, 35, and 2, just 37% against the spread since 2016. So give me the Vikes at 2.5.
I like it because Chicago also a bit of an inflated win over Washington on Thursday night. 3 touchdowns on third down. So I like where your head is there. I'll be on Minnesota as well. That'll do it for us. We got to get back to our winning ways. I have a good feeling about it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode, and comment below your favorite bets for week 6. Good luck, everybody. Looking forward to it.